This video is all about yourself and self-improvement. This is not about how others see you and what they perceive and whether you care about the world or not. It's about whether you care about yourself. Today's topic is if you are stuck in your ways and how it impacts your life and what you can do to change it and how to figure out if you're stuck in your ways. Many of us think that we are very flexible and changeable and we're just open to everything. But there are little telltale signs to show how most people are stuck in their ways and they don't like change. If you don't like change, your life is going to become a little more difficult than it should be. Also, your success and your future relies heavily upon your ability to change and adapt. I'm not going to go through the whole history and lecture you about how humans were living in caves and how we civilized over centuries and how it changed our lives, because we all know that anyway. First of all, let's go back and look at your life. Little things. Do you wear the same kind of clothes that you wore when you were a teenager in your 20s, 30s, 40s? Have you changed your style as things changed? Perhaps you had a very classic style and you didn't need to change, or perhaps you changed very little. And if you changed with the times, then perhaps you're very flexible in that specific area of your life. Think about all the kinds of foods you like and dislike, and whether you have changed over the last whatever period you have been on this planet. Other things are like hairstyles. It's something that I find very funny, and I observe so many people out there who you can tell they had a hairstyle that worked for them when they were teenagers or maybe in their 20s. Many people of my age group in their 20s, which was in the 90s, the fashion, I think it was late 90s, where everyone had spiky hair and kind of gelled up and like short on the sides and the back. And many of those people that I see even now in their 40s and 50s still have that hairstyle with grey hair. And you think why those people haven't changed over the years and why they're still living the same life that they lived in their teenage years or in their 20s or early 30s. Because they get stuck in their ways and they think, this is me. I don't want to change. I'm proud of myself. Pride and stupidity are two different things. Being proud of yourself, great, be proud of yourself, but figure out why you are proud of yourself. Because are you just proud of yourself because you're stubborn and you don't want to change? Or you're proud of yourself because you have made some accomplishments and achievements and evolved and changed and grew in your life to make it better? So those are the questions you should ask yourself. Because if you haven't changed, then it's never too late. You can start now. But it's very important to know that you have the flexibility and the ability to listen to other people, adapt and change. Many people will say, well, my close friends, my family, my partner, my parents, they accept me for who I am. Why do I need to change? Well, I hate to disappoint you, but most of the people who are very close to you don't want to upset you. They don't want to offend you. They just want to have a peaceful relationship with you. They want to have a good time. Your friends want to go out with you and have a pleasant evening and go back to their lives. They don't want to tell you to change, because that will just create confrontation and perhaps disagreements. You may not like the change they're proposing. And your parents, of course, they love you. And they don't want you to be upset. They just want you to be happy. And they would love you even if you looked ugly. It's just one of those relationships. Even if you were stupid, even if you were awful and unsuccessful, they would still love you. That's the parent-child relationship. Your partner, again, a lot of the people who come into our lives accept us for who we are and hope that they will influence some kind of a change for the better. But because a lot of us are very stubborn, we don't want to change, and we end up disappointing our partners. And they think, well, there's nothing I can do. I just have to compromise and live with it. So think about all those things and think about why you need to change and improve. Your exes, on the other hand, are the best people to go to find out what you need to change about your life. Most of you will find this ridiculous and say, no, they hate us. No, they probably don't hate you. And if they hate you, there is a reason. And that reason needs to be fixed. Similarly, if you meet a complete stranger, they will, within 10 minutes, know more about your flaws than yourself, because you are used to your flaws, you have accepted them, and you think it's okay to be the way I am. If you look at the number of people on the planet, the number of years or millennia we have been on this planet, there is no such thing as originality. Someone somewhere has done what you're doing, or they're going to do it, or have done it in the past. So this whole idea of this is me, original, well, I say to you, if you want to be really original, then please walk around naked, because you came into this planet, you were naked. You couldn't speak, so you learned a language. You shouldn't, because that's change. That's not being original. You just drank milk and didn't have any manners, weren't educated. Drop all of that, only then you can be original. We are all about improving and changing and growing. So stop telling yourself that I am fine the way I am because this is me and I'm original. Because you're not special. You're only special if you change and improve. Finally, I've said this in my other videos in the past, you need to understand who your real friends are and who are enemies disguised as friends. If one of your friends is direct, blunt, critical, and makes the effort to tell you how to change and improve, then they are the real friends, because they are risking the friendship. They're going out of their way and risking a conflict and going through the trouble of telling you what to do and how to change. It doesn't mean that you have to listen to everyone and change yourself and become this non-person who is not you. But you should listen to people instead of thinking that, oh, this person is too critical and they're too blunt because they're jealous or they're not happy or they're just taking it out on me because their own life is miserable, and all of those things that people come up with these excuses. No, they are quite likely the most sincere friends you have because they are going through the trouble of telling you how to improve yourself. Of course, they have to be diplomatic and they have to do it in a way that is good and acceptable. But at the same time, you have to remember that people who care about you are the ones who want you to improve and change. People who don't care about you, they just want to have a good time and be in your company and then go back to their life. They don't care if you're not going to change and improve and remain the same person for the rest of your life and be unhappy, because if you're unhappy and if you're not a good company to them, they'll move on to someone else. The enemies disguised as friends are also the kind of people who don't want you to change, who don't want you to improve, because there are two things. One, they'll be left behind, and two, it will remind them of their own failures and why they couldn't change and improve and are stubborn, and therefore their lives are stationary and stagnant, which is why if you're in the same boat as them, they feel they have company. Misery loves company. Anyway, it's been a long video, so I will end it here, but I hope this was of some use. This is really important. Go have a think and write down 5 things that you think you have done the same for the last, I don't know, whatever decades you've had in your life, and see how you can improve them. or improve yourself. Maybe learn a new language. I don't know, just come up with something. Until the next video, good luck.